Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to the Proctor Mindset channel. First off, I want to send my best wishes for your health and well-being. We've put a lot of hard work into bringing you this video, and if you find value in it, please subscribe, like, and share to help us reach more people who need this message. Your support means the world to our dedicated team. Thank you so much for being here. Let me begin with something that might sound unusual to you. The life you are living today is not a result of chance, or fate, or blind luck. It is a direct result of what you have accepted into your mind. You may never have realized this. And here is the paradox, the one that might trouble you. If everything you are experiencing today is a result of your own mental programming, then you are solely responsible for the change that is about to happen. I know this challenges almost everything you've been taught, but please, hear me out. Your mind is the invisible key that unlocks all doors. This video has landed in front of you now because there is a calling. Something inside you is ready to shift. Have you ever noticed that most people only believe when they see with their physical eyes? They say, when I have £100,000, then I'll start believing I can be wealthy. When I find the right person, then I'll believe in love. When I get the opportunity, then I'll believe in myself. But life doesn't work that way. This logic is completely reversed. You believe first, and only then do you see. The invisible always precedes the visible. Belief is the seed that gives birth to reality. I learned this the hard way. There was a time when I had nothing that could give me confidence in the future. I worked jobs that barely paid the bills. I had no education, and my self-esteem was on the floor. People around me kept reinforcing the idea, Bob, just accept your life. This is all you have. But there was an emptiness inside me that was screaming. I refused to accept that this would be my final destiny. And this is where I made a decision. Without any evidence, I would believe in a bigger life. Have you ever paused to consider what it's like to believe in something with no proof? It's terrifying, isn't it? Because the world has taught us to trust only what we can touch. But that is what limits most people. I chose to believe before seeing. I saw myself as a confident, wealthy, capable person, even though I lived in a humble place and had nothing in my pockets. Every day, I began to visualize the life I wanted to live. I saw myself walking through doors that didn't exist yet, talking to people I hadn't met, signing contracts that weren't on the table. And slowly, it began to materialize. And I'm not talking about blind faith alone. Science today confirms what I experienced. Neuroscience studies show that when you intensely imagine something, your brain activates the same regions as if it were happening in reality. The body reacts as if it were real. In other words, when you see yourself as wealthy, confident, and abundant, your mind starts preparing the ground for it to actually happen. This isn't magic. It's the law. Now, pause for a moment and reflect with me. What are you feeding your mind? When you lay your head on the pillow, what governs your thoughts? Are they phrases like, it won't work, it's not for me, or I never get lucky? Or can you imagine, feel, live, and breathe a different scenario, the one you truly desire? Because that is the thing that changes everything. I recall a very remarkable personal case. I was working as a firefighter in Toronto. It was a stable job, but there was no future in it. I earned little, was heavily in debt, and my mind was trapped in lack. One day, a man gave me a book that said, if you change your mind, you change your life. This statement shook me. I began to believe in things that seemed rationally impossible. In less than a year, my income increased in a way that no one could explain. People asked me, Bob, what happened to you? And I replied, I started to believe. Can you imagine the impact of that? The external world hadn't changed yet, but everything inside me was already different. I was already wealthy in my mind. I was already confident in my thoughts. And when that internal shift occurred, the external world had no option but to align. So, I ask you, what do you choose to believe in now? Even if you can't see it yet? Are you willing to elevate yourself above what your eyes show you? I propose a practical exercise to you. Before you go to sleep tonight, take a piece of paper and write, "Tonight I receive." And complete it with what you desire most. It could be peace, prosperity, or a new opportunity. Read it out loud 3 times, slowly. Treat it like an order to your subconscious mind. Because when you sleep, your mind continues to work, seeking ways to make real what you have decided to believe. Remember, your life doesn't change when something external happens. Your life changes when you decide, within yourself, that it is already possible. Belief is the foundation of everything. You don't need to wait to see to believe. You need to believe to see. Many people think that holding on to what they have is synonymous with security. They believe that if they save every penny, every opportunity, every word, they will be safe from setbacks, losses, or disappointments. But life doesn't truly flourish in closed hands. Everything that is stagnant, that clings, becomes inert. Prosperity, on the other hand, flows like a river. It requires space, movement, and surrender. It's not just about money, it's about energy, generosity, and intention. The universe responds to what you release, not what you clutch. I remember a moment when my financial situation was almost desperate. I literally had £100 in my pocket, and yet I decided to donate. It might sound crazy, right? To give when you barely have anything, when every penny feels vital. But something inside me was saying, the real value isn't in what you possess, but in what you allow to circulate. And it was precisely at that moment that something incredible began to happen. Not immediately, not like magic, but slowly. Doors I didn't even know existed began to open. People appeared. Opportunities arose. And I realized that surrender was the key that unlocked everything that was blocked by fear and lack. Napoleon Hill teaches us something fundamental: the man who does more than he is paid for will soon be paid more than he does. This is not just about extra work, it's about attitude. It's about making space. It's about being generous before receiving anything in return. Surrender creates a flow that breaks down invisible barriers. It's as if we are in a room with the windows covered by boxes. Every act of generosity removes a box and allows the light to enter. And the light, my friends, is the energy of abundance. When you give, you are not losing. You are making space for something bigger to come to you, often in ways you never imagined. And surrender isn't only material. It's about time, attention, care, and even forgiveness. How many times have you held onto a grudge, a pain, an old anger, thinking it was protection? But in reality, you were imprisoning yourself. Every unresolved resentment is blocked energy that obstructs your flow of prosperity. I've seen this happen countless times with talented people. Brilliant individuals who could achieve so much, but they remain bound to what they couldn't control, the attitude or choices of others. When you choose to release, to forgive, to share, you not only lighten your heart but you also open financial, emotional, and spiritual pathways. Now, imagine that every act of generosity you perform is a seed that is sown. A seed of pure intention. Every time you give a word of encouragement, a book, some of your time, or a small amount of money, you are sending a signal to the universe that you are worthy of receiving more. And indeed, you receive, but not in the immediate way your limited mind expects. Life is intelligent. It comes back multiplied, sometimes in surprising ways. It could be an unexpected job offer, a contact that changes your career, or even an idea that turns into a successful project. Surrender makes space for the natural flow of abundance to find its way. And here is a powerful reflection. How many times have you let opportunities pass because you were holding on out of fear of losing, fear of taking a risk, or fear of believing that the universe has more than you can imagine? Clinging is stagnation. Surrender is movement. The act of giving something, even if small, tells the universe, I am ready to receive more. I am ready to grow. And this decision is not only about external wealth, it's about internal growth, mental and emotional freedom. Because a mind that gives, an open mind, creates a magnetic field that attracts not only money but also ideas, relationships, inspiration, and confidence. So, I challenge you to put this into practice now. Choose something you can give away right this moment. It could be a piece of clothing you don't wear, a book that inspired you, a word of gratitude, or even forgiveness. Do it with a clear intention, and say out loud, slowly, I make space for new things. I release what is no longer needed. Feel the weight detach. Feel the lightness that is generated. Because every conscious act of surrender is not a loss, it is an investment. An investment in your own prosperity, in your own growth, and in the creation of a flow that will never be interrupted. Surrender is the secret that transforms closed hands into open arms, fear into confidence, and lack into abundance. It's a silent but powerful path that connects you directly to the life you deserve. Slowly, you will realize that surrender is not just about giving, it is about aligning with the energy of success. Every gesture, every choice to release, is a step that brings you closer to your next big leap. And when you least expect it, everything you have given will return to you multiplied, because life always responds to generosity, the courage to let go, and faith in the natural flow of the universe. Very few people understand this, but resentment and grudges are like invisible chains that bind the mind and heart. As long as you cherish sorrows, as long as you insist on reliving past mistakes or blaming those who hurt you, you keep the vital doors of life closed. Hatred and resentment. The original script ends abruptly here, so I will complete the thought based on the previous style. Block the flow of every good thing trying to come into your life. Every lingering grudge or painful memory is like placing bricks on the path to your own prosperity. You might not notice it immediately. However, this negative energy gradually consumes your time, attention, and vitality. This leaves very little room for growth, opportunities, and genuine happiness. I've seen this happen with incredibly talented people. I've watched brilliant careers stall due to past resentments. I've seen dreams abandoned because the mind was simply too preoccupied with anger and pain. Steve Jobs is a perfect example of this. He needed to deal with deep disappointments and unresolved conflicts. Only by confronting and releasing these feelings was he able to return to Apple and transform the company in ways no one had ever imagined. Imagine if he had remained trapped in his suffering, holding grudges against colleagues or his life circumstances. He would never have reached the level of achievement he ultimately did. In this sense, forgiveness is not just an act of generosity towards another person. It is a tool for personal liberation. It is a key that unlocks your potential and clears the path for abundance and success to flow in. Think about the opportunities you've already let slip away because you were bound by resentment. How many relationships were lost? How many businesses failed to thrive? How many dreams were postponed? All because you didn't let go of what you needed to release. Cherishing pain is an unconscious choice to live in mental imprisonment. And every day you insist on maintaining this prison, you move further away from the life you deserve. Understand that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning the action of the person who hurt you. Forgiveness means taking control of your own life. It means freeing yourself from stagnant energy and making room for light and progress to enter. The act of forgiveness is profoundly transformative because it redefines your relationship with the past, with others, and most importantly, with yourself. It reframes painful experiences, turning scars into powerful lessons. When you choose to forgive, you are not only freeing the other person, but you are primarily freeing yourself. Forgiveness clears the way for the focus, creativity, confidence, and vital energy needed to take action and to win. It acts like an emotional reset, clearing the internal interference that blocks the natural flow of life. A forgiving mind is an open mind, and an open mind is capable of seeing opportunities where it previously only saw obstacles. Practicing forgiveness requires courage because it involves facing the pain, the vulnerability, and the emotions accumulated over the years. Close your eyes. Bring to mind someone you need to forgive. This could be someone still in your life or someone who left a long time ago. Let the emotions rise without judgment. Allow yourself to cry, or let the tension release naturally. Then, declare in a firm voice, I choose to forgive. I choose peace. Feel how these words settle inside you. That space, which was once filled with resentment, is now transforming into freedom. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Repeated with intention and emotion, forgiveness becomes a habit that cleanses your mind and prepares the ground for prosperity, creativity, and healthy relationships. Furthermore, forgiveness opens not only emotional doors but also practical ones. People, opportunities, and experiences that were previously blocked by the weight of suffering start moving closer to you. Situations that seemed impossible become viable. This is because your energy is no longer scattered in negative emotions. This is how the physics of the mind and emotions work. What you keep trapped consumes energy and creates resistance. What you release creates flow. Therefore, every act of forgiveness is a strategic move, not just a spiritual one. It cleanses your mental, emotional, and energetic fields, allowing new things to enter without obstruction. I challenge you now. Don't just acknowledge the need to forgive, take action. Choose a name. Visualize the person. Feel the emotion, and utter, I choose to forgive. I choose peace. Let the feeling flow until you sense that something has shifted inside you, that your internal space has expanded. Perhaps a sigh of relief will come. Maybe tears. Perhaps a profound silence. Every reaction is valid. Every reaction is a step forward. And know that true liberation comes from repeated action, from daily practice, and from clear intention. Because when you master forgiveness, you master your mind. And a free mind is able to attract wealth, opportunities, health, and happiness like never before. The energy of life flows to those who release, who give, who forgive. And you are about to become a magnet for all of it. Most people want things, but they don't know precisely what they want. They have vague dreams, confused ideas, and uncertain goals. This is why they often drift, living for months or years without sensing any concrete progress. The problem isn't a lack of ambition or desire, but a lack of clarity and definition. Without writing down, without visualizing, without giving form to what you want, you are sailing in the dark. You are hoping that life will miraculously deliver everything that was never detailed. Wanting is a start, but wanting without specificity is like shooting an arrow without a target. The chance of hitting it is minimal. When I started writing down my goals clearly, everything changed. I wasn't just saying, I want to make money, or I want to be successful. I was writing exactly how much I wanted to earn, within what time frame, and what I wanted my life to look like at that point. I remember writing in my notebook, I will be earning £25,000 per month by the end of next year. This clarity brought a transformative power. I didn't need to know how it would happen, but I was giving my vision a precise address. The very act of writing is a silent commitment to yourself. It's like sending a clear message to the universe, this is what I want, and I am ready to receive it. Science confirms this. Studies show that people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. Writing is not just noting words on paper. It's creating a mental and emotional map of the future you desire. Every word written, every detail imagined, begins to generate internal alerts, focus, and signals for action. Your subconscious mind starts working to align your actions with your vision, searching for opportunities that were previously overlooked, and identifying solutions that once seemed impossible. Writing is like transforming scattered dreams into concrete plans, giving form to what previously only existed as an abstract thought. The next step is to visualize the scene with emotion. It's not enough to write down numbers or facts. You must feel every detail. Imagine the textures, the sounds, the colors. Have the physical sensation of already living the thing you desire. Visualize opening the bank statement and seeing the desired amount. Imagine the people around you acknowledging your effort and your achievement. Imagine the pride, the confidence, and the security that this reality brings. Visualization transforms the essence of the desire into a lived experience. And the mind does not fully distinguish between what is intensely imagined and what is real. Each visualization is like planting a seed in the fertile ground of the subconscious mind, preparing the soil for physical reality to grow. I ask you, how many times have you wanted something but never bothered to detail it or visualize it? How many goals remained only in your head, scattered, without energy, without attractive power? The simple act of recording, detailing, and visualizing changes everything. It creates accountability, focus, and positive expectation. You begin to see the world differently. You start to notice the resources, the opportunities, and the people that previously went unseen. It's like turning on the light on a dark path. Suddenly, everything that was needed becomes visible and accessible. So, the practical challenge is simple, but powerful. Tonight, take a notebook or a piece of paper and write down your vision in detail. Use words that convey emotion and experience. Define timeframes, quantities, sensations, and impacts. Then, close your eyes and visualize the scene as if it were already real. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the confidence, and the power that comes with your attainment. Repeat this daily. Consistency creates an irresistible magnetism. A mind trained to see the desired reality begins to work in alignment with that vision, seeking out the paths, solutions, and connections that were previously invisible. Writing and visualization are not passive steps. They are a form of strategic mental action. You are not just dreaming, you are building the bridge between what is and what can be. Every detail recorded, every scene imagined with emotion, is a brick building your future reality. Life begins to conspire in favor of those who know what they want, who define it clearly, and who feel as if they have already received it. When you combine writing with visualization, you transform desire into something that can be touched, something that the mind and the universe begin to align to make happen. This is the power of structured vision, clear intention, and the lived experience. And this is what separates those who hope and those who actually achieve. Belief alone is powerful, but without action, it remains stagnant, like a seed thrown onto concrete. Many people believe, want, and hope, but don't lift a finger to transform that desire into reality. I became a millionaire not only because I believed in my potential, but because I coupled that belief with consistent, planned, and courageous action. Every day, every moment, was a concrete step in the direction I had already visualized. I had faith in my future, but I also built the bridges every day so that this future could manifest in the real world. Belief prepares the mind, action embodies life. Look at the great examples in history and the present. Michael Jordan did not become the greatest basketball player by merely believing he would be the best. He trained more than anyone else. He studied every detail of the game. He dedicated countless hours to practice, and he constantly put himself in challenging situations. His belief, however intense, required action to become tangible. Every repeated throw, every exhausting training session, was an expression of the faith he had in himself. And this is what differentiates winners from mere dreamers, the willingness to act, even when there are no guarantees, even when the path looks difficult, even when the results are not yet visible. I ask you, how many plans, ideas, or projects are stuck in your drawer because they lack a simple step? How many times have you reassured yourself that believing was enough, without realizing that every belief must be accompanied by movement to turn into reality? Belief is like a powerful fuel, but without the wheels turning, without action, it takes you nowhere. The thing that differentiates people who achieve extraordinary results is precisely the ability to combine clear vision, unwavering belief, and daily, consistent action. Now, imagine you have a specific goal, something you want to achieve in the coming months. Write your goal in detail. Feel the sensation of already achieving it. Visualize every detail as if it were real. But don't stop there. Determine what the first step you can take tomorrow is. It could be a phone call. It could be a proposal to be sent. An email, an in-depth study, a daily practice, or even a difficult conversation you've been putting off. Any concrete action, no matter how small it seems, is the materialization of your belief. It is the link between the idea and reality, between desire and achievement. Daily practice is what solidifies the transformation. Each action taken with clear intention and focus strengthens your confidence, reinforces your belief, and generates momentum. Momentum is accumulated energy that makes progress more natural and inevitable. When you couple belief with action, you create a magnetic force that attracts resources, opportunities, and people aligned with your goals. The universe responds to the harmony between thought, emotion, and action in subtle ways. The more consistent you are, the stronger and faster the results will be. belief must also be tested and challenged. Moments of doubt and difficulty will come, that is natural. But it is precisely in these moments that action is decisive. Continuing to act despite fear, uncertainty, or the absence of immediate results is what transforms belief into lasting achievement. Every step, every conscious movement, reinforces internal confidence and sends a clear message to your mind and the universe: you are committed. You are ready. You do not back down. So, don't wait for motivation or for results to appear before taking action. Start with what you have. Do what is in your power, however small, and build the bridge between belief and reality. Every action is a gear that drives the machinery of life in your favor. Choose a goal now. Write, "My goal is," and define the first action you can take tomorrow. Feel the determination flow through your body, the clarity invade your mind, and the confidence expand in your heart. Because belief, when worn by action, not only turns goals into achievements but transforms you into the person capable of deserving and sustaining every victory. Belief gives the vision, action builds the path. And together, they create a reality that previously seemed impossible, but which is now within your reach. Every conscious step is a declaration of power. You don't just wish it, you do it. True change does not come by chance, by luck, or by waiting for life to change on its own. It comes from the mind that chooses to believe before seeing, from the courage to give, from the daily renewal of assumptions, from the liberating power of forgiveness, from the clarity of the vision that is written and visualized, and from the union of belief and action. This is the central point that connects everything. Your growth depends on you taking responsibility and putting into practice every step we've learned here. And the journey doesn't stop. In the next video, which is appearing on your screen now, you'll take one more step in the evolution of your knowledge. You'll discover new insights and practical tools to become an even better version of yourself. Someone stronger, more confident, and better prepared to attract all the things you deserve. I thank you for dedicating your time and attention here. And know that I'll be waiting for you in the next video, ready to help you continue this journey and transform every teaching into action, every action into results, and every result into a more abundant and complete life. Click on the video that is appearing now, and let's take the next step together. And please, subscribe to the Proctor Mindset channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the powerful strategies we share to help you master your mind and master your life. I'll see you there.